want to do that in this game. It is a possibility, though.
Well, if they don't, then they could just find themselves with a safe lane Brewmaster up against like an Undying and Dazzle, which you're not going to kill. And that's the combination. Like, you can't kill that. The Dazzle, like, that's the exact combination, because you got Soul Rip and you got Heal and you got Shallow Grave, and the Undying will always get up in your face trying to force some kind of reaction. Actually, that was HGT, the way they played the dual lane.
Rubik, Lina, Brew can kill that lane, but they need to do it right. Like, their opponents in that game played Timbersaw as the safe laner, I believe, in that series. That was Tongfu playing Timbersaw twice on, who was it? On Kabu in that series. I think Brew is going to be more reliable and probably also stronger. So Timber has the Whirling Death going for him, which is great. But the difference is this time around, if they get a Rubik lift into a stun on the Dazzle, he's actually dead. Like, they can try to Grave and buy time perhaps, but I still think he's going to ultimately get run down and killed off. Then the question is, do they trade? Like, if Undying gets to take a good fight on the back of that, maybe it's
you use all your stuns, all your controls, then he just runs after you with Decay, and you can't run away because Tombstone is slowing you down too much.
It's a tricky lane, actually. It's not that straightforward. I think it comes down to outplay more than just a team having a flat advantage in that lane. However, if Ehome run as a tri-lane, then I think they're screwed. Energy Pacemaker. They actually can't beat that lane. The Disruptor Undying Dazzle lane is deceptively strong. This is not a support duo you generally consider, oh wow, they're aggressing us with Dazzle Disruptor, what do we do? But with Undying in particular, it's actually really strong. So Ehome are going to last pick TA, which definitely beats Shadow Fiend in lane. It also beats Lina in case it's a mid Lina. That is still a possibility that they might be considering. And against Brew, it's kind of 50-50. It comes a bit down to luck with the Drunken Haze, and whether or not the Brew times his laning very well with the Haze as well. So
I do like the TA though up against heroes like Lina, depending on your timing.
Only, right?
Like
it's pretty good.
Yeah, what gender is? Somewhere, but I know it's actually different to the Warcraft. I've had this debate before, and I've forgotten the answer.
Not that good against Disruptor, but against all... Go and commit, and you can get out with... Secondary Shikuchi. Against TA, the Swarm is decent. And against Gyro, it goes both ways with Gyro. Like, it's if you get ahead in the fight and you can run him down, it's great. But if it's an even fight, Gyro can actually pull you. So it's a little bit of a tricky interaction here. I still think it's a good pick, and I think if they put this one in the safe lane, they might actually have a really good shot at beating that tri-lane. I think the Weaver is a lot stronger than the Brew for that lane, and they could run the Brew off lane against Gyro, which is definitely not ideal, but could still be worth it in the end. We're going to see what they do. This is we're interesting.
We're probably going to have a little bit of lag in this one, considering your game took like 5 hours to load in.
Oh wow, I'm 5 seconds behind you.
How is that even possible?
Alright, it's time-lapsed.
Your game is actually time-lapsed, and you're in the game itself. That shouldn't even be possible. They can't be physically possible.
I actually had 7 seconds of delay inside the game.
Wow. That's a new one.
Or the clock was lagging.
Let's start our first lag fight as RTK going to move to the front lines. It already starts off with the Decay. Only finds one, however. And EP, they don't really want to try and contest this too much. Yeah, it's just too dangerous.
Gyro and Dying are godlike in level 1 fights.
There is one thing I am very concerned about for the EP lineup. You got a Brewmaster, a Weaver, and an SF. They all take time to find items. And I'm concerned that Ehome don't require such a heavy amount of time. Like, the Undying doesn't. Like, he just needs, like, good lane presence. The Gyrocopter, we've proven time and time again that Rocket Barrage doesn't need it. But once he gets level 6, then a lot of, like, Brewmaster and Shadow Fiend aren't really going to do that much at the same time. And Templar Assassin with Refraction, you got all of this bonus damage so early on that controlling her is going to be difficult to impossible. And the roaming ganking from Rubik and Lina, I'm wondering if that's also even possible. Because if the Undying's getting up in your face in a different lane, then you have to bring support to it. So there may not be kill options for them.
It's very difficult for them to deal with CTY in this mid lane. It's a very bad matchup for Shadow Fiend. It's one of the worst he can get, and they can't really gank the TA either. If any of their supports had some damage over time, then maybe they might actually try on level 1, which is a nice idea. I don't think CTY is going to expect this, and might be the only way they really get away with it. All right, he's
backing
totally
up.
Expecting this.
Well, there's also no reason for him to be forward. Like, there's no creep wave for him, like to soak up any form of damage. So he let it go.
Yeah, this is really bad news for EP if they waste their first smoke. They're going to rotate top, and this might actually work. I think Dazzle already skilled Shadow Waves, so then there's no grave. No, he didn't skill yet.
Well, they can start with a Rubik Telekinesis and do a Light Strike Array, and Fan Shikuchiing down. He actually goes to the Shallow Grave, so he's back into safety and saves himself being the first blood, and there's no tick damage from anyone on EP, so he's fine.
That smoke still has value, then. Like, they force him to skill Grave, which is really good for them. If they can put a lot of pressure until he reaches level 2, they can actually bully Undying out of the lane. And a Dazzle with Shallow Grave is, like, he's basically a hero that doesn't have a skill right now. The cooldown of that is so ridiculously long, and yeah, that's pretty alright. He's swaggering more than usual. Dropping some frames here.
It might almost be worth the disconnect, reconnect kind of thing.
Oh, it's scary. You might not be able to get back in.
Yeah, that's true. Like, that happened to you.
I got back in.
Congratulations, Sind. Welcome back to the world of the living. Templar Assassin is almost for the world of the dead at this point. Refraction's the only thing that's keeping her alive at the moment. And where is this bottle? She's not near it yet, and got to keep a distance away from.
Shadow Fiend's actually winning the lane. That's really surprising.
I think she ended up copying 2 raises while the refraction was down. I think that's what actually ended up happening. I say think because I'm not certain.
And this is very uncharacteristic for CTY, who is an exceptional laner, and generally if he has a favorable matchup, he wins against his opponent. But this Shadow Fiend, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't even get help from the one. Like, they helped him block, and then they left him alone.
Yep,
but
that was it.
I guess the threat of the gank might have given him 2 or 3 CS, and that does help a lot, but still, this should not be happening. He's doing a very good job.
Oh, no, CTY. He's hugging the tower closely.
If they kill the courier, this lane is lost.
They won't. The Observer Ward watched this movement. Actually, on the off lane, it was the wall which was up. There's no glimpse available by the looks of it. It was just a wall, and yeah, glimpse still on cooldown. Yeah, but they can't lose it because they saw the Rubik pick up a double damage rune and walk to where he is. So this courier is going to go the very, very scenic route through the Radiant jungle. Yep.
Oh, they grade it. Okay.
That also.
Well, then it's 100% safe.
Yep. As long as it doesn't go back straight down the mid lane, which is exactly... Oh, hang on. It was almost going directly back down the lane, and now it's going to be given a bottle as well after using his movement speed to get out. But Rubik has lost patience, and he's left.
Oh, this is going to take a while before he gets this bottle back. That's a good 30 seconds. He probably has to wait for that, so...
But you need to expend the entire thing. Like, there was no other choice for him. And I think he also knows he's not going to get any runes.
It's really nice to see how Old Chicken plays this matchup. This is really how you want to play against TA as a longer range hero. A lot of the time you will see Shadow Fiend players against TA just raise farm, try to get whatever CS you can. But the way you take control of the lane is just you consider refraction non-existent. Like, you just play against her like she's a melee hero, and you just want to hit her all the time to harass her out of lane. And ultimately you're going to break refraction, and then you raise. And if you get, like you said, that he caught him off guard with a couple of raises earlier, you can suddenly take control of the lane. And most experienced TA players don't let it happen, but everyone is obviously can make mistakes in the lane, and he is really just forcing them out of CTY. This is impressive.
I'll ask the question. I saw something quickly as we had the hero levels up. Why is this Rubik still level 1 4 minutes into the game? Not even level 1. He's 2/3 of a level in. There's nothing coming out from this support at all. And we already pointed out how ineffective Rubik was during the last series. Like, if you're having a Rubik who's not fighting any levels, not fighting any farms, so you got no repositioning ability, and he's meant to be the one that sets up for the lean and not the other way around. Well, they're going to glimpse back the Brewmaster into the Rocket Barrage. Heavy amount of damage. An attempt to TP out will be successful.
Right, that's not going to happen if they have a point in homing missile, but he has chosen not to skill that. I still think
second point flak.
I think it's a really good value point. That would have easily been first blood there with a homing missile. But
they would have had to start with homing missile, because the homing missile still takes longer.
Yeah, but he got glimpsed back, right? So he would have basically been glimpsed into the missile. So as long as he just throws it at some point, then it should have been an easy kill. But yeah, interesting to see. Well, it's standard. I just feel like a lot of the times players just skip the homing missile without like that extra value point in flak cannon. How much does it really do right now? Is the question.
Well, for the moment, Rubik is still just babysitting now this Brewmaster in mid. Like, level 2 Joy, ROTK, he's low, very, very low on mana. They got a chance here, Light Strike Array is going to connect, and that's actually going to be first blood right there. And, well, what a big one to have it on too, the Weaver, the one here. I was a little bit worried he was going to have a bad transition into his next item levels.
I like how the animation of his death was just, he just disappeared. Like, I think it didn't even draw his death animation, he just...
all of a sudden,
yeah. Oh well. Yep.
Well, maybe we are on the Chinese platform now, so we don't have shit like the blood bowl anymore. The censorship is real.
Well, this is going to be a good first blood for EP. Who was involved in that kill? It was Lina, no Rubik.
It's going to be good for him. Actually, no, it's not. Well, maybe it is. He took a lot of damage after that.
He was 10 sticks. But the Rubik wasn't involved in that kill. So Lina got some decent experience, but Rubik will need some time to catch up. And they're giving him a bit of time in mid while Shadow Fiend jungles, which I think is a really good decision. He's now level 3 on Rubik, which is okay. It's still pretty low, but considering that no ganks have happened for him, that's it's the way to go. He's going to leech some XP here.
We're back in the same positions we were in game number 1. Like, EP... they're getting the upper hand slightly in all the lanes. Like the game isn't by any stretch of the imagination won or completely imbalanced the way of EP, but they definitely have some extra momentum on every single core hero.
Yeah, especially that mid lane. I've talked about it quite a bit, but this is, you usually see these CS reversed, and then at this point Shadow Fiend starts being able to take over by going jungle. But his early laning stage was so good that he's actually 15 CS ahead against the TA here in the mid lane in the start, which is
they're very impressive. Crack at him in the mid.
Oh yeah, that's the problem of Shadow Fiend though. You can be pretty far ahead on CS, but you're still fragile as shit. So goodbye.
Rocket Barrage does the work, and Brewmaster, he can't add anything to this fight. The leader was on her way in too.
Interesting, he had Requiem of Souls. What level is he?
Realize they used cooldown for that mid fight too.
That's pretty unusual, right? Generally max the first 2 skills first. He was skilled Requiem on level 8. I guess he just wanted to... Oh, I think he skilled it before the gank town. I'm not sure though. Because if he did, he should have actually tried to cast it, I think.
Yeah,
he had a point Requiem. Yeah, they have no stuns coming into that gank, I think. That would have been worth a shot, or maybe that glimpse.
No, it was the Dazzle moving in with the gyro and the TA.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so he could have probably just the Requiem.
Unless he was worried there was like a homing missile behind him, but
I should be able to see that.
Oh, so he hasn't used a homing missile at all yet. So.
Well, did he skill it?
No,
he still didn't. But he obviously doesn't know that.
Yeah, but he did commit call down to that mid fight. Like that was like he wasn't getting away.
No. It's understandable that he tries though, but in hindsight Requiem would have probably done something there. Like, not that much, but... Anyway, this bottom tier 1 will now be pushed by Ehome, and Shadow Fiend looking to trade a little bit here in the mid lane. It's going to get forced away by ROTK as well as the Dazzle.
SF just turns an ROTK. I just saw him drop a little bit of burst life there. But it's all slight distraction, like okay, RTK moves into the mid, that's keeping him off the top lane, so there's not an easy feat of a death. While on bottom lane, they dive quite heavily in behind this tier 1 tower. Now they do actually take it out, chasing after the Brewmaster, killing off in the tree line.
And this gank mid could go horribly wrong if they mistime it now with the Rubik Lina. I think they actually gave up and rotated top. Static Storm was expended for that kill bottom. I saw Brewmaster was silenced, but there was no animation, but at least he had the little silenced face. So, oh, there's the kill message. Nice.
We're playing guesstimating reinforcements.
They got him dying.
Еще, возможно, не стал задний.
Good for you.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has been denied. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Давайте люди играют, они...
Dire's middle tower.
That's kind of...
That's when you make it up. That's the beautiful thing about radio. No one ever sees what you're doing. And let's go back into the game and we can see it.
Oh, it looks pretty smooth.
Yeah. And
No.
there goes your dazzle.
Yep. Fan got him.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 and 3. Ehome did get the top tower. They forced it down with the tombstone. That means there's a new glyph available for EP now because it was a tier 1. Brew is very close to Blink. He's actually going to get it now. He needs this one last CS for that. That's
a big timing
That's
for
a
EP.
very big important item here. They probably want to look for fights right away because they should have an idea that both Gyro and Tia are getting really good farm at this point.
Yeah, with the mech as well from Chicken. Yeah, that's a great combo
This
time.
is the best timing. They're actually a lot stronger, I think, than Ehome for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and they should take advantage of it.
Are they still really that much stronger? Because if you get the cooldown off and you've got a level 4 tombstone.
No, if they tank everything, then no. But if they position well, if they don't get caught by disrupt rolls by too many heroes, and
You mean like this kind of moment when you're 100 gold away from getting... Oh, wow! Oh, wow! Okay. There's 2 rays to do the job. If he TP's out of this one, it's not going to be possible. They
That was
lose the
actually
Disruptor
really
in the
close.
meantime in mid, as Gyrocopter trying to escape out. He's got the Soul Rip to help out as well as the Undying Tombstone, but it's just not enough. That Blink Dagger and Brewmaster split looks like it was just put to very, very good use in mid. And they leveled up at 6-6 and EP. This time they get the better trade.
and Rubik was involved, so he's level 5. Yeah, that's a 1,500 gold swing plus pretty much. Well, I guess they're not getting the tower, so that's still a really good trade for them.
It's not bad. The downside is though, like you just revealed your Blink Dagger. You knew you're going to get something when you did that, or you should be getting something when you do that, and then your mech gets delayed. So the
He's got it now.
The SF is... Oh, wait, he actually purchased it before death? Oh, because he would have got the kill and
He
then
got the kill on
purchased it.
Disruptor.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got that. I think they want to wait with sieging again until they have the next brew ult. But they're okay as far as farming goes. Like Weaver and Shadow Fiend, especially Weaver, actually scales really well.
I love, too, the fact of Weaver's build here. Like, we're not seeing a Lincoln Sphere build in this game up against Ehome. Like, it looks like we're looking more at a BKB or potentially Desolator build, which personally I'm a massive fan of because I feel like Lincoln just takes too long to get up.
Yeah, and the new Deso is really good and really cheap. It's a great item for a hero like Weaver now. It used to be decent already, but now it's just so good.
I don't know if he can go straight Deso, though.
I think he can. I actually think it's the best item. I think he's making a mistake if he gets BKB. Like, I get the idea you want to counter maybe the Static Storm and maybe the Call Down or whatever,
Yep.
but he needs to play from ahead. Like, if he gets the Desolator, he becomes a really big threat in the fights. So if they don't go on the Weaver, like, Brewmaster's going to cause some chaos, right? He's going to stun a target and Cyclone another one, and they have to go on the Shadow Fiend, because else he's going to get a good Requiem off and the mech. He's the mech carrier. They want to try to burst him down. So if that creates any sort of space for the Weaver, he is going to shred their supports in 3 hits each.
So you build to win, not build to keep even.
Yeah. I was considering whether Fan would go for the stats build, which is pretty similar to the burning build on AM, where you basically get 1 in Swarm just for the vision and for the the annoyment factor in the fights, and you get one in Geminate, so you can get a burst in the opener, and then you max Shikuchi in stats, so you can tank up against all the abilities. And I think that's actually more often than not the best build, but in this game, he doesn't need the tankiness in the stats because there's so few counters. So he can go for the really high-impact Weaver build, where he goes all points into his actual skills and a Deso, and it's actually one of the scariest heroes at like 18 minutes into the game. Sick mobility, hits super hard with the double attacks as well. He's scary. Like, look at this Dazzle. He's got 700 health. What's Weaver's damage going to be with a Deso? He's going to have like 160 plus -7 armor. So he's going to... Dazzle has 3 armor. So he's going to hit for like 200 per attack. It's a Geminate attack and 2 more hits and he's dead. That's scary.
They're going to battle again. The Tombstone's going to be dropped. A very quick jump down. The Disruptor holding though, it stops the Brewmaster from getting the split off. And that's the big one. EP, now they're going to get themselves out of here. The ulti flying out from Whole Chicken, but how long is he going to live after it? Not long, that is. He'll still have his death ulti, but Fan running away from here as quick as he can. Leon with a Laguna Blade cannot even finish off the Disruptor. So it's 3 heroes for the price of nothing. Wait. And a Courier with the Mithril Hammer, which belongs to the Weaver. Also just sitting in the trees on a perch.
Standing there. Oh wow.
It was just trying to get a very good camera view.
That's a huge play from DDC though. If he doesn't stop that split, they get destroyed in that fight.
Yep.
The Tombstone got removed instantly by the Weaver and the Shadow Fiend. It was placed in a pretty poor position from RTK.
It was very forward, but it almost felt like EP stopped to take care of that, so they couldn't get down to help anybody.
But the
Brew was so
anyway.
deep anyway.
Yeah. I think, without seeing it on camera there, I think he wanted to blink clap split, and that's one of those situations where you just blink split. Like, Disruptor's chance of counterplaying that is very, very low, but that extra 3/4 of a second or whatever it is it takes to clap first, it allows them to counterplay. And
but Disruptors saw it coming too. Like, you're running at the tier 1 tower, and then you blink into the trees.
He could have even just split, maybe, without blinking.
Just split at the front of the tower and then just start the control as you go in?
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
I think they could have actually done that. There were a couple of plays there from Brew, and this is the most important play in a team fight right now, is whether or not Brew gets a good engage. And it all comes down to, can he engage out of the fog where he gets a blink clap split, or can he at least blink split? Like, I don't even know if he got his clap off. I guess he got
in that one he didn't.
He didn't even get his clap off. Then
No,
he might not have
the
been
problem
able
is
to
he
split.
blinked in it instantly, the Static Storm came up.
Okay, so then he shouldn't even have blinked. But that's easy for us to say, but still. That's,
yeah, we can judge from the armchair.
It is very difficult not to clap with Brew. You feel like you're wasting a lot of your potential if you don't. But sometimes you just got to realize that the risk-reward ratio for using a clap first is just not worth it sometimes. And that fight not even worth it for the blink.
They're going to be so quick with this because they got the Desolator over on the Templar Assassin and a double damage rune as well. Like, this is one very quick Roshan. And EP, like, what are you going to use to scout for this? Like, you can throw out the Scarab Beetles. Okay, the Slave is actually used. And now the Beetles are also coming in.
This might actually be a play if he wants to.
Well, got no way to jump in, however. Or maybe they do. Brewmaster, this time he'll get the split off instantly into it. Then TA might be stunned up, but the Brewlings have just been disintegrated by the Templar Assassin. You might have run away by the Weaver. There's no clues for that, but now there is one for the leader pulled all the way back. The last strike area will still connect, but with a call down, no one can battle from the high ground, and Ehome, momentum is their name. And they, Fan.
No detection. They could have maybe glimpsed that. I don't know if he had it off cooldown again. I guess he doesn't. No.
How quick did that Brewmaster die? Did he actually lose both his fire and his earth brewing just through like Sideblade attack?
I think so. The TA hit for like 300, and yeah, with Deso that's like 350 or maybe 400. I think the Brewlings have like 0 armor, so that was pretty scary. They couldn't really follow through. They went. I think he was a little indecisive there. He went in for the blink split after Roche died. Then you might as well not do it, right? You want to do it to contest the Roche and try to steal the Aegis, or at least get a fight where maybe they kill Roche, but you get a couple kills. But he went in when it was too late. And then, in addition to that, RTK dropped the Tombstone, and his team couldn't follow through. They were like getting zoned out by zombies from below.
Well, here we go again with the Tombstone dropping down. Call down that will give him a lot of space. The Desolator is over on Fan this time around, but the leader! Oh, she has been ravaged by this Templar Assassin. And now they just want to get themselves out of here. They've still got these Beetles on them. So into the meld. Central wards are down for the Radiant side, so they know they're not being watched by any other sentries from EP. But they've had enough. They've already done their damage. They just want to get out.
Oh, this is scary. She can actually one-shot Rubik, I think. She might need the right rune. Yeah, she will be able to Meld Strike and then one more attack. He has 2 armor. So, it's like... Oh, he has Refraction stolen right now. So now she can. But... Wow. That is scary. CTY is getting really big again this game. The Blink Dagger, Yasha, this is actually an insane inventory for 20 minutes. This has got to be some of the higher farm we've seen on TAs in recent times. The GPM at this point.
We don't see much TA these days, though.
No. Last one I remember was EG at the Summit, and it was a pretty good game for Simel. I think he had a couple of mistakes, but apart from that, it was a solid pick as well. I think it's actually pretty good nowadays where a lot of teams just focus so much on these spell burst strategies. And if you don't have enough damage over time or some really good instances in one way or the other, then TA tends to run you over a lot.
And if she can keep this momentum, then this game's going to be quite quick. It's not going to be like our 60-minute games from before.
No, definitely not.
Especially with Undying. Like, Undying's picked up not only the mech, but he's also got the Hood of Defiance coming out, which means it's not too far away from getting the full pipe up and running. And on top of that, you've also got a Glimmer Cape, which I believe belongs to the Disruptor.
Yeah.
So, DDC's now rolling in the cache as well.
Glimmer Cape is actually incredibly good against Brewmaster. When you blink split, if he has dust, he can precast it, but apart from that, he needs to have a gem to, you know, in the middle of the fight, he can't just suddenly get detection out while he's in the split. So it's a pretty nice way of dealing with his engage, and it's really good against a hero like Lina as well, who only has Spell Burst. It's great against the Shadow Fiend too at this point. It's just such a high value item for its cost.
They're using SF as such bait, and the wall's going to come up in time with the Undying Tombstone. Templar Assassin's on the way now. The Requiem's already been blown, and RTK, well, he was quite happy about this. Soul Rip himself back up to life. The Weaver, though, is taking the trade-off. So the SF dies, but the Weaver's taking the Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane.
They're going to lose Rax now.
Probably. And look, the SF doesn't have buyback. He's short by 134 gold. But if he kills off the tower in the bottom lane, he'll have buyback available. So Weaver destroys the tower, and now SF can actually come back up now.
Yeah, then they might not get it. They're trying to get through the backdoor protection. They're actually not managing. He's trying.
They need more. More.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Well, their creep waves arrived now, so they're no more.
Oh, well, he has Aegis, so.
Yep. He's also got another 2 bottle charges up his sleeve, too. And
they're actually blink kill Rubik right now, I think.
Considering it, blump, there's one. You're right, needs a second attack.
Yeah.
Can't do it. But the Rax, you take it anyway. Weaver's doing damage to that tier 3 tower on bottom. Almost has it done. But DDC, he's lost vision. Actually, now he'll keep the vision because the glimpses actually gets him too. Drags back into the ultimate with the wall. And now Weaver is one dead Weaver. But it does at least stop the secondary Rax from being taken.
You know what's funny about that play from Weaver? When he gets glimpsed, he gets brought back to where he was 5 seconds ago. So he actually sees where he's going to time-lapse to, and then he time-lapsed. So he basically just time-lapsed exactly where the glimpse would have taken him, which is into the Static Storm. Who would have thought? It's just one of those panic moments, like, what the hell are you actually going to do? You can't do anything as Weaver against this if you don't have a BKB or Lincolns. And that's kind of funny to see him time-lapse. He basically just made his death a second faster. That's all he accomplished.
The downside about going the Desolator first, but at the same time, he would never have done what he did on that bottom lane if he didn't go the Desolator.
Yeah.
And that was still pretty big.
I still think it was the right item. They just got outplayed,
yeah,
but
agreed.
You should not blame anything on the item decisions. I think every single item they got was the correct one this game.
There was just that. The bottom fight is still going to be that highlight clip we'll come back to. It's just like, what the hell happened here when they jumped in? And then they just...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dark light.
Им надо нападать, пока нету томбы. С другой стороны, надо как бы чуть-чуть...
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.